We are your home theater and AV questions answered. This is AVRant. Want your home theater or AV question answered by Tom and Rob? Send it to question@avrant.com. Welcome to AVRant. I'm Tom Andry, and I'm here with
Rob H.
All right. I don't know how to say this name.
I know, neither do I. I didn't look up pronunciation.
I'm gonna murder this name. I am so sorry in advance.
I'm leaving it to you.
Muzammil? Muzammil.
Muzammil? I think it's Muzammil. I think so.
Muzammil? Anyways,
we're really sorry. We're really sorry for
we're
mangling
very
your name.
sorry. I'm a terrible person. I apologize. But he says greetings from Pakistan. So I love hearing that we have. So we've had Australia and Pakistan so far for sure,
Yeah.
and I'm pretty sure there's some other people in here that are asking us some questions from other countries.
Mahi's name is actually much longer as well, so he shortened it for us because he knows we're terrible at pronouncing names. So I don't.
It's not we.
Musa?
It's mostly me. I will take this. So I'm not going to even do anything. Anyways, this dude from Pakistan.
Sorry.
He has a five speaker system with Yamaha Avantage. I haven't said that word in a long time. RXA 840 receiver, golden ear Triton towers, and Supersat 50C for the mains and center.
Okay.
Plus two very old Iowa, whatever. SXN doesn't really matter. Speakers left over from an old mini hi-fi system. I've seen those systems before. Not that particular one, I don't know, but yes, I've seen them. The catch is that he likes the wall of sound experience, so all those speakers are all in the front as present speakers placed 1 foot from the floor.
Yeah, this is what really threw me. So he's got his three main speakers, which are the Golden Ear, Triton Towers, and the Supersat Center, which those should be great. But then he says they're the present speakers, which normally are meant to go higher. They're meant to go above.
They're meant to go above and at the outside of
just a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, of your,
like basically
of your mains.
basically 45 degrees up, 45 degrees out.
Yeah.
That's sort of where the present speakers normally go, but he's put them 1 foot from the floor. So, okay. That's just where we're starting.
Anyways, he knows that having all speakers in the front may be blasphemy to some, but he enjoys it and would like to improve the setup if possible. Well, the first thing you should do is get some speakers behind you. But let's go on. It seems to him that setting the presence channels to large might help.
No.
But the receiver won't let him, and that's a good thing.
That's good.
Could he wire the present speakers to the main? Well, first of all, these little speakers aren't going to be able to handle a full range speaker.
No, and you're talking about Triton Towers, man. Like, you don't need your little Iowa mini hi-fi system things doing anything compared to those Triton Towers.
Yeah, it's really kind of an odd thing. I understand sort of kind of what he's going for. The wall, likes the big wall, the big sound.
Yeah,
but he's got big sound coming anyways. Okay, anyways.
I'm thinking use a DSP mode. I mean, Yamaha is lousy with DSP modes.
Yeah.
And when I say lousy, sorry, that's an English thing. I mean, it has lots of them. Because, of course, the word lousy sounds like meaning bad, which it also means, but not in this case. I mean, Yamaha has a lot of DSP modes, many of which are precisely for the effect of sounding like you're in a larger room or have a wall of sound in front of you. To me, that's the solution, is rather than using additional little mini hi-fi speakers.
Yeah, I don't know that these little speakers are going to be doing you a lot of good, but if you're going to have them in the room and you want to use them, you should at the very least place them correctly. And foot off the ground is not where they're supposed to be placed.
Put them way up high. Put them close to your ceiling.
Yeah, they should be close to your ceiling, above your main channels and a little bit out to the side. And try them up there. They are not supposed to get full range. They certainly can't handle it in any way, shape, or form. And he's asking, and I've skipped it all because I'm not gonna, because it's not important.
Yeah.
But he's asking if you can wire them in parallel with the main speakers. Don't, for the love of God, do that.
No.
You're gonna blow these things up, and it will in no way help your sound. So if you're gonna use the present channel, place them correctly. Okay. I think Rob's right. I hadn't really considered this, but go through some of the DSP modes and see if that helps you. Also, try using these little speakers as surrounds just for
Yeah.
just for giggles to
And
see if maybe
again,
that helps.
with the DSP modes, because it's very, sound can be very unintuitive when you're talking about, I want a wall of sound, or I want a huge sound stage, or I want it to sound like I'm in a big space even though I'm not. It can be very unintuitive. It can be the reflections of sounds that are behind you that make it seem like what's in front of you is bigger than it is, right? That's can be how this works sometimes. Sometimes having more speakers in front of you makes things sound smaller because there's all these sound wave interactions that are canceling out sounds. It can be very unintuitive. So yeah, have a try putting your two Iowa speakers in the surround positions and play with the Yamaha DSP listening modes, because that's what they're for. They're exactly for the effect that you're going for. I bet you'll find one you really like.
Yeah, there's certainly enough of them. Regarding DACs and amp quality, referring to our comments in episode 503, what about DACs versus line level preamps? When he swapped between a Creative Omni gaming multi-channel DAC plus amp and a Creative USB audio file stereo DAC plus amp, he noticed a large difference. The sound in the sound, it didn't sound as muffled. I can't read this. What does it say? Didn't
He said it sounded like when he was basically, this is coming from a computer, right? So he was using the analog outputs it says as a DAC plus amp, but no, he was saying it was going from like the analog outputs of his computer into this gaming multi-channel DAC plus amp thing, and then he switched over to a USB one. And the USB one sounded less muffled. It didn't sound as cold or whatever that means. But yeah, basically when he went to the USB sound card instead, things sounded better. So he's like, is that because of the DAC, or is there something else going on here? And there's something else going on.
There's something else, yeah. I mean, if you're using line level outs, you're using the DACs that you're using everything, and there could very well be a mismatch between the line level that's coming out of your computer, because it came out from his computer, right? Is that
it's coming from his computer. Yeah, this is a situation where like the actual digital to analog conversion that's happening inside of your computer. This applies when it's coming out of your headphone jack output, or when it's coming out of your line level outputs, right? The actual digital to analog conversion might be fine, but very often in a computer, the headphone jack or the line out has a lot of noise on it. Yeah. There's a lot of noise that gets added on there, and you can definitely hear the difference switching over to a USB sound card, which is getting that information out digitally and clean, and then doing the conversion and the amplification and everything outside of the computer where it's not getting contaminated by all that extra noise. So I don't doubt for a second that you heard a difference, but it's not because of digital to analog conversion. Everyone thinks it's the DACs, the digital to analog conversion. It's not that. It's the excess noise that gets added onto the analog line out or the headphone jack.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that could be going on there as well. There could be, it's just not, the line level outs are not pushing enough power towards the DAC, towards the preamp or whatever this thing is, this gaming DAC thingy.
Yeah.
Or the amplifiers that are there. That is, and I don't even understand how this works, because he's using Tannoy 502 studio monitors with internally powered amplifiers. So if he's going from the pre-outs on his computer to the Omni gaming multi-channel thingy, why is he even going to that? Because couldn't he go straight to speakers?
He could.
I'm very, because he should have gone straight to the speaker. So I'm a little confused by this whole thing. That's okay. I mean, and there could be just we don't understand what's being said, but there's a lot, regardless of how the connection goes, what could be probably happening here is it's not the digital to analog conversion that's the problem. It's all the stuff that goes on around it, and whether or not there's a mismatch.
I think what we're talking about is
and stuff like that.
Internal sound card of the computer versus external sound card that was connected with USB. Really, that's sort of the breakdown. So even if it was like the internal sound card and you're sending out the like the digital SPDIF connection, right? But it's still on that same little sound board, which sometimes that's we have on the back of your computer. You have that same little soundboard. One of the outputs you can switch to being SPDIF, but you still get a bunch of noise on that output. That's what typically ends up happening there. So yeah, switching over to the USB, that can be making a difference because you're getting a clean signal out of the computer, and then it's doing it. But yeah, people want to believe in DACs, right? It seems like people just want to believe.
Well, that's because the manufacturers keep telling them how important it is.
That's true.
Yeah. That is really not anybody's fault, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, when the marketing keeps pushing it at you, that DAC. I mean, when I was with Liz and Will the other day, did that video ever come out? I have to actually ask Austin to do that. When I was with Will and Liz the other day, Liz, my old podcast partner, Will was excited because there's a new phone coming out that has like audiophile grade DACs in it. I'm like, he's like, "Are you excited about that?" I'm like, "Nope, not even a little bit." So DACs aren't where it's at. Well, that kind of rhymes, but it's very rarely do I look at a DAC and say, that's what made the difference. It's just not the case.
It's ancillary stuff around it.
Want your question answered? Send it to question@avrant.com. This is AVRant.
Now go out and listen to something.